Hey there. AI is fantastic. It's great we all love the warm transfers when we get that call that transferred over to us. But there's a huge value too, just in using AI to kind of sort and filter your opportunities. So we've been running a couple of tests internally with the team, and I wanted to just give you some results from that. Two tests that we've been running. One is focusing on the Speculo Conversation tag. So I wanted to show you quickly how I built the list. So if I go in here and I just say tags, include any Speculo conversation, this reflects anybody that's had a conversation with REMI, regardless of what that conversation was. So I have a lot of people in here at 524, so that's kind of too many to focus on. And since we just started doing this, I wanted to limit it to the people that had a conversation in the last 30 days. So these are people that are kind of more lower hanging fruit, more recent. I wish we had done this before, honestly. Then I was like, okay, I'm still at 176 people. So I want to filter this down even more. So I filtered it by activity, and I did last activity was less than 30 days ago. And then ultimately landed at last activity was less than 14 days ago. So I turned this list into a filter. So essentially, in order to do that in Follow Up Boss, you just, hit that new list button right here. You type what you want it to be. Then you can kind of choose who you want to share it with on your team. And when I created the list, I added an additional filter for last communication. Was more than 1 day ago. And the reason I did this is because when we build smart lists, we want leads to come on to the list. So these three filters, activity, communication less than 30 days ago, and tag, are what put the leads onto the list. But I also want the leads to come off of the list as the agents are working them. So that's what this last activity is more than 1 day ago filter adds in. So as the agents are working them, they're going to remove them. It's going to remove them from the list. So really quick, the results of this list were pretty good. We ended up with about a 30% answer rate and identified, and we had, when I ran this list before, we had more than 31 people, but we identified at least 10 opportunities, and the total list count at the time was about 37 people. It was a really great outcome from that list. So that's one to kind of work if you want to increase your conversation rate versus just increasing your outbound call rate. This is a good way to do it. The other list that we just tested this week that I want to show you, I'm going to clear these filters, was the nurture tag. So we ran this list. We did the Speculo Nurture tag. I did not limit this one by activity, but I did do last communication was less than 30 days ago. And then I also added again that last communication was more than 1 day ago. And ultimately, I've already had people work this list, but when I ran it originally, we had 60 people that were on that list. Of those 60 people, we ended up calling 50 of them. I'm not 100% sure what happened to the other 10, but we ended up calling 50 of them, connected with 22 of them, ended up with 16 conversations. So that's identified as 2 minutes or more of talk time, and set 2 appointments. So if you do the math on that, that is a 43% answer rate, which is huge, and a 34% conversation rate. To put that into perspective, our team average for call to conversation ratio is about 11%. So this just highlights why using AI, that if you work alongside the tool as a human that is also jumping in, and allow REMI to do the hard work of filtering your leads so that you're reaching out to the low-hanging fruit, that you're going to increase your conversation rate. So instead of having to have 50 calls or make 50 calls to have 5 conversations, those 50 calls ultimately turned into 16 conversations. That's huge. So, and the connected rate being, 34%, it's just really great. So So just wanted to kind of point those things out and let you know what the results were that we were getting. And I hope that this helps, and hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.